everybody. Today I got a little bit different video for you. Those of you that watch the channel know that I like video games and Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. What you may not know is I'm a huge retro gaming fan. My favorite console of all time, at least as of right now, I have several, but I think my absolute favorite is probably the Sega Dreamcast. I still have one currently. I still play it. I still buy brand new games. Most of them are the newer stuff anyway, or like ports or whatever. But I mean, this thing is just living on and on and on, man. I think it's just an amazing system, and I'm just going to kind of show you what I have and kind of walk through its playability and things like that for those of you that might not know. It's an absolutely amazing system. I think it was way ahead of its time. It had 56K internet when it first came out, and then they released a broadband adapter, which it was the first online console I've ever played. So, you know, it really opened my eyes up to a lot of stuff like that. And it just had everything. It had a fishing controller with the little stuff in there where you can, you know, catch the fish. That was really fun. It had the zapper stuff. It had just everything. It had these little VMU things. So I'm just going to kind of go through some of what I have and kind of explain a little bit, and then I'll show you a little bit about what it looks like gameplay wise. I don't have a screen recorder, so it's going to have to be on the screen. I'll put it on the computer monitor. Hopefully it'll show up a little bit better, but it probably won't. I just don't have any way to record it from there because I don't have a way to hook the Dreamcast to the computer currently. I don't have that cable, so, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so here's some of my collection. This is the Dreamcast fishing controller that works with bass fishing. It's pretty cool. I got no buttons on the back, but you got X, A, B, Y up here. You got your start button there, and you got your thumbstick there, as well as the reel part for your fishing line. Okay, so this is the standard Dreamcast controller, and it has two little slots here to fit cards in. One of them is like a rumble or a microphone or whatever, and then you got the other one, which is the visual memory card, which is these little guys. Which these little guys also, see if I got any battery on these. They also play little games, but I think my batteries are dead on these, which they charge. You can charge them, like, I think they have CR2032 batteries in there. Yeah, CR2032. You can either get a rechargeable set or just buy them because they're pretty cheap. But none of my batteries are good on these here. So basically what you do is you stick your VMU in there. It acts as your memory card unit, plus you get a little screen here. Microphone would go in the bottom right there. And this doesn't work for every game, but like some of the games that you have, like Alien Front Online here, as you can see, it's online multiplayer. This is the original case and game. And on the back here, it shows that it has online multiplayer. You can use the VGA box, jump pack compatible, which is like a rumble pack or whatever, modem, standard controller, and a microphone. So pretty cool, pretty innovative for its time. Let's see if it shows a date on here. I don't know exactly what date this came out, but the Dreamcast, I believe, came out in the 99, 2000, something like that. So that's pretty cool. Again, there's my Dreamcast, and here's some of the collection of games that I have. Some of them are originals. For example, this Alien Front Online is original. 4x4 Jam, that's a ported game. That's pretty cool. I have 4x4 Evo. I can get these games out of here. That's pretty cool. That's original. Another game that I have that I really enjoyed on the TurboGrafx was Splatterhouse. This is Splatterhouse Trilogy, so I think it has all three games in it. That's a pretty cool, fun game. And I've just got a whole bunch of other ones in here, like I got Bass Fishing, Resident Evil Code Veronica, very good game. Sega Smash Pack Volume 1, Phantasy Star Online, I think this is the first one. Yeah, this is Phantasy Star Online 1. They made a version 2, which was way more popular than version 1. But this was your online multiplayer game, and it was a role-playing game. Very big hit at the time. And then we have some other games here. This was a newer game. It's a port. It's called Postal. Then we have Hermes, again a port, but a newer game. Then we have some really cool stuff here, getting into the emulation type stuff here. Nestor DC. It has pretty much all you want on NES games. They all play fantastic on here as well. Crisis Evil Part 1 and 2. Again, this is a I don't know if you would call it a port, but it's more of a Beats of Rage kind of thing, like a hack. It's kind of cool, different. And then I have several other games with no real cases or whatever here. Dream SNES again. And this is the Super Nintendo version, like the Nestor one. Then I have these two games here. So Zelda Shards of Might, which was, it's kind of like a fan-made, I don't know if you call it a hack or whatever, but it's basically Link to the Past or whatever that they redid the story or whatever on. Very cool game. Kind of hard, but very cool. Super Mario All-Stars, they say 2, but I can't remember what all was in that. That's actually very fun. You know, again, we're just kind of porting stuff here. See what else we got in this box. Sega Rally Championship, no case. Really enjoyed that one. And another one of my favorites was Air Force Delta. As you can see, some of these prices vary for what you get nowadays for them. Let me dig the rest of these out of here real quick. Here's two more original Dreamcast games. Seaman, which used a microphone. It was not online, but you talk to the fish as it grows. Very unique game. Very weird, but very unique. Then we have Revolt, one of my favorite like RC type games. Very, very fun. I think this is also available on the PlayStation, so a whole lot of fun. Then we have some other stuff here that you may or may not have heard of. So Turtles Cowabunga Edition or whatever, the Cowabunga Section Edition, whatever. And then we have Railroad Tycoon 2. This is an original game, but I don't have the case. And then this one here takes a long time to load, but it's actually kind of cool. Halo Revamped. And it just has this little crappy case with it. And you can buy a lot of these games, either reproduction games, like some of the ones I have here on Etsy, or you can buy them from whatever respective website that has the current game on there. So it's kind of cool to see all this stuff still alive and well. Now this is something I found a while back. This plugs into all of your ports. As you can see, Dreamcast has 4 ports in the front there for 4 different controllers. And this basically enables you to play wireless. You can use, I do believe you can use pretty much any Bluetooth controller. So that's pretty cool. I used to use PlayStation stuff on here at one point in time, but I don't remember exactly how that worked. So what I want to do now is I want to just power up a game, just kind of show you on my monitor over here just what it looks like and what we're dealing with. So one thing that I'm gonna power up is just something that I really enjoy. So we'll go ahead and power up Phantasy Star. So we'll put this game in and let it load. Now before we get to the loading here, I wanted to show you this as well. So this game comes with a second disc. It's a trial of Sonic Adventure 2. Very cool. So obviously that's why I like to keep it in the case. I don't have Sonic Adventure 2, but I do like the game. It's actually really cool. They got a bunch of what they call chows. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so again, I apologize. This has to be recorded this way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one of my lights off here so that hopefully it's a little easier to see. So I know it's kind of dark here right now, but I wanted you to kind of see what it is, and I've got no way to record otherwise. So we just powered it on, and this is what it does. My battery's dead in the Dreamcast, so it's going to ask me about date and time and everything. So it just comes up, does that, hits your start button. And I just want to show you the screen down here as well. The screen comes to life, and see how it says number 2 on there. Let's go ahead. It's going to ask me for date and time here, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. And it's going to show 2 on here, so let's see what this means. And this is the game itself. So this is Phantasy Star Online. And I don't have any sound here, guys, but as you can see, the little screen down here kind of shows you a little bit about what you're doing. So let's go to a new game. And this one's telling you there's not enough memory card space or whatever, so you have to get one that has enough space. I do have a different memory card, so we're going to swap these out real quick until I find one. Okay, so I found one that works here. My Game Shark one here, it has more memory on it. It's like a mega, I don't know, VMU or whatever without being a VMU. So we're going to go ahead and select that one. And we're going to go to offline mode because I don't have it connected to the internet. And this is basically the game here. You would control it like so and hit your buttons on the other side. I'm just going to do it one-handed, just kind of walk around for you, show you what it does. So this is the actual loading screen and time that it takes for it to load. So you can kind of move the little cursor around there and just kind of get the feeling there. So these are the in-game graphics, and as you can tell, it's not too terribly bad. So get a close-up there on the guy here. Hopefully the computer screen isn't doing too bad of justice there. But basically this is you on a ship. You can go out here, and this is where your mission area would be. You could teleport down to the surface, and they got like a little mini city in here, so you would go heal up and stuff here. There's like a little shop way down here on the end, and then you can go to the quote principal's office. So this is basically the premise of the game is you're on, I think, on the lookout for a new world or something like that. So you're on a ship, and this is where you have your bank. Over here would be your shop that has different types of things. And see how they're color coded? So you have like armor, items, gun stuff, and then magic stuff. So it's kind of in depth, you know, for the time, especially being able to play online. A lot of people really enjoyed this, including myself. So let's just go down to the surface here, and I'll show you how the monster system and everything is here. So we'll just go over here, and this is only a level 5 character, so I don't expect much from him. Okay, so I made it to the cave, so we'll go ahead and start there, because you start off in the forest. So I'll kind of just show you what this is all about here. Okay, so you got your little mini map, you know, like normal. You go inside here, and then how your sword just automatically appears. That's because these monsters are going to come in to fight you. And you can press the left trigger to kind of center your character. So if you turn around real quick, you can hit that button. And then if you hit the other button on the other side, you would be attacking. So you got like standard attacks, you got powerful attacks, so on and so forth. And I'm about to die here, so I'll go ahead and get out of the way. But yeah, so you basically beat the monsters, move on to a different level, yada yada yada. They have these little crates over here that have items and stuff in there. So if you basically just hit them with your sword, you can get items if there is anything there, money, you know, whatever they have. So it won't let me go back out, so I'm probably going to end up dying here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to beat these characters here so I can, oh, there we go, I can go back out. So we'll just go back up to the Pioneer 2 is what they call it. That's your main ship. And these are actual loading times here, just to show you guys. And then, you know, since I'm damaged and stuff, I can come in here and get my heal. I think I have to pay money for it. So I'll go over here, And welcome to the medical center. It'll cost you 10 Meseta. That's your money. Well, I don't have any, so I can't even heal myself up. So when you're playing with a group of players, you can play, I think, up to 4 players at a time. And it's kind of cool because each person can have a different class. And that's the one thing I didn't explain before. There's different classes on here. So the one I got here is kind of like just a fighter. You know, he has a sword or, you know, whatever. You have a ranger or whatever. They call him something different, but he shoots, you know, bullets and stuff out of guns and everything. Then you have like the magic people. They use spells and stuff, obviously. Once you advance far enough, you get this thing called a mag. It's like a little companion guy that follows you on your shoulder. Once you level them up enough, when you fight a boss and you get hit so many times, you get a special move, and it unlocks a special move that the little mag guy does and takes some pretty good damage. So it's pretty fun. But yeah, one of my favorite games, Phantasy Star Online there, and they have online 1 and an online 2. So this system is actually very cool. I don't know how many people still play it, but I play it pretty much regularly every week. Like I said, I'm a big retro gamer, so I'll just show you one more thing here. I'll flop in something like the Mario All-Stars or something just to show you what the emulation stuff looks like. So let me get that one in there and I'll get you turned back around. Now this is loading up the Super Mario All-Stars, what they call 2. This is telling you about copyrights and things like that. This is made from Dream SNES. So let's give it time to load here and we'll see what it's all about. Okay, so it pops up the normal Dream SNES screen. So what you're going to do is you're going to select your game. And I think this is the only one there. Oh, okay, so it has different Mario stuff in there. See, it's been a while since I played this. And it all takes for just a minute to load up here, but any of these that you wanted to play, you could. So let's just go to, I don't know, how about that one, Super Mario World. Now some of these may or may not load. They might be like Japanese or whatever. Excuse me. It might be like Japanese or whatever, so you just gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt. Like this is the World of Illusion. Somebody's I think fan-made stuff or whatever, but as you can see, completely different game. So we'll hit start, and we'll go to 1 player. We'll just kind of walk through it. I'm probably going to die, but you know, we'll just walk through it. I think I already died. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so I guess you get to select your world or whatever. So it's kind of like the one on SNES, I do believe. Very similar to that. It's got a few different things. Levels are a little different, a little more generic, that kind of stuff. But, you know, very fun. Very fun. Again, one of my favorite systems that I think I've ever had. I'm a huge Sega fan anyway, and the Master System and Genesis are 2 other favorites of mine, but I think the Dreamcast is definitely better than all of them. So many possibilities, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to a website that I had found where they still sell newer games. There's generally 1, 2, or 3 games that come out pretty regularly a year. They're either ports or they might be like a fan-made game or whatever, but it's kind of cool to see this thing still alive and well. So let me get you turned around here and I'll show you what that's all about. Okay, this is from segabits.com. Now most of these you're going to see like this homebrew stuff here. This is from the Genesis, and it's, you know, got like a port over to it. This is another Mega Drive game, The Secret of the Four Winds or whatever. Yeah, some of these games I don't know. I've never seen them before. Most of them's like older stuff like this, but then every once in a while you'll find something like Portal or Hermes or something like that that's coming out. And these are people constantly working on the system, bringing newer stuff that's could be older, retro stuff, could be homebrew, you know, whatever, to the system itself. Like Phantom Gear here, I do believe this is a homebrew type game. You kind of get the gist that it's, you know, somebody's fan-made thing there. Still pretty cool. Now, if you dig around pretty hard on the internet, you're going to find all kinds of stuff. Look at forums and all this stuff here. There's tons of listings and stuff, but the problem with most of these is you'll have the listings, but you'll also have like on a forum, you're going to have like a list of things, and you got to just dig until you find stuff. It won't be on a nice, pretty website. At least most of them won't anyway. So there are some that's coming out. I don't know what the names are until I run across them. I don't have any in mind as of right now, because what I do is basically once a year I'll buy an older game or an original game that I wanted from my collection, or I might buy a piece of hardware or whatever. Like last year I bought the fishing controller, and I bought Sega Bass Fishing and a couple other things. Like they got marine fishing and all that stuff too, but I haven't found that one yet. Some of these games, if you look on like eBay and stuff, they go for incredible freaking numbers, but you can find them a lot cheaper than that. But yeah, the whole point is the Dreamcast is alive and well, and I mean it works just fine. It'll load pretty much anything that I have here. Now I must mention that my Dreamcast is one that will play CDR games, you know, games like this that is made by Burning on itself, and these games here won't play on every system because the eyes on every system won't read them. But yeah, I feel pretty fortunate. I love this little system here, and it's amazing. Yeah, so as if you couldn't tell, the Dreamcast is one of my favorite systems and one that I really enjoy. I've had many of the other retro stuff in the past. The only thing that I think that even comes close to the Dreamcast for me would probably be the Sega Master System. They have quite a few games on there that I really enjoy, a bunch of firsts, and yeah, it's one that I really enjoy too. So what do you guys think? Anybody own a Dreamcast? You still game with it? I know I do pretty regularly and very much enjoy it. So yeah, I'll try to do videos like this every once in a while. Eventually I'm going to get to a point where I can actually take game screens and stuff, but I just don't have the setup as of right now. I got to find the right stuff to hook to the Dreamcast, and then also be able to record as well. So once I get that sorted out, you know, we'll get some actual in-game footage of, you know, while I play and stuff like that, so we can kind of see a little bit here, because it's a really great system. But yeah, what do you guys think?